Let's talk about MetaDAO, the amount of hype that's going in here. Where am I buying the Meta token? Is it currently overvalued right now? Yes. Why is that? What are they doing in terms of expanding the team? And what's going on with the ICOs? Why is there an ICO that's got over $80 million when they're aiming to raise at least $750,000? We'll go over that. This video, you definitely want to watch to the end because you're going to learn a proper amount of stuff. And there's no like super hype thing here, but like if I could be honest, there's few things that I am interested in as much as I am MetaDAO. MetaDAO, like it makes the world, the crypto world, have a much better outlook. And this is what I think is really important. Smart money's going in, and dumb money, retail, and dumber money, new retail, is also aping in. So MetaDAO project here, this covers basically how to use Futagi in crypto markets. Futagi is essentially just trading a proposal as opposed to a governance system of, token-gated governance system like Jupiter or Uniswap or something like that. They've got a lot more attention recently. The attention has been getting more and more, and that's because of a few things. But in particular, it's because they've launched the ICOs, and the ICOs are the best ICOs anywhere. It is by far the best because it aligns the investors with the teams. Essentially, what you're doing is it's all liquid, and there's no vesting or anything like that in a typical sense. There's one little caveat to that. So you're not going with like a low float, high FTV. There's no airdrop here to, farmers or anything like that. It's just, we want capital. This is what we're doing. Do you want to give us the capital? Great. If you don't execute, a trading proposal can be passed to liquidate the treasury, and then people can take their tokens and redeem for that token, which happened with Mountain Capital. We'll go over this in a little bit more, but this is basically privacy for swaps and transfers built on Archium. Archium, I covered it a little while ago when it was under another brand, but now it's rebranded Archium. They're doing some pretty cool stuff. It's expected to launch this quarter 4, and Umbra builds on this. Now, one reason for all of the attention is one, MetaDAO's been firing on all cylinders. The content's also been very good, by the way. Also, Ansem retweeted this, and there's other key smart people as well. But also, Mert keeps on talking about privacy. Privacy. He's been shilling Zcash for ages, and Zcash, and which this is pretty cool. And now there's a whole lot of governments things happening where they're trying to take away your privacy. So the need for privacy it's more apparent now. It was always apparent. It was always obvious. That's why Bitcoin kind of existed in a sense. But now it's even more apparent. So that's one of the reasons why it's very, very, very cool. Now, there's going to be a lot of questions about this. So one thing is, when you're sitting on $83 million committed and you wanted to raise at least 750, what happens next? Okay, so with all this money here, Umbra needs to decide after this ICO ends, and probably like within a very quick period of time, probably minutes, they probably already know the answer. They'll tell the MetaDAO team smart contracts would be activated, and they will take a cap on this. People are asking, okay, so is it going to be like a system where you've raised $750,000, so everyone's going to get a pro rata refund? So if you put in $1,000, in the end, you're going to get like a couple of dollars worth of the Umbra token, and it's going to be starting at like approximately $1 million market cap. And that's not going to be how it's going to actually be. They do have the option to take all of the money. However, the team it can't access $84 million. They get automatically $34,091 per month in order to execute on their vision. All the rest just sits idle. It doesn't even earn yield. It just sits idle in smart contracts, and proposals have to go forward and be passed for the team to get more money. So as an example, the team says, all right, cool. We've managed to ship this. We now need to hire a BD, and we need to do this, and we need to do this. Can we please can we increase his allowance from $34,000 to $72,000 a month? And then if the proposal makes sense, it will vote as yes. If the traders like it. If not, it will vote as no. If it votes as yes, they get the increase. If not, it stays the same at $34,000. People are thinking to themselves, okay, well, I connected my wallet, I committed USDC, I want to pull money out. It's not how it works. Maybe it comes in the future. Don't actually think it's needed. What you're doing here is you're taking a risk based on the information you have and its data asymmetry. Now, there's big contributors that really believe in this, and so they're putting a whole lot of money. However, what's probably likely to happen, what would be the smart decision in my opinion, is they would probably take $2 to $5 million, something like that. Either way, highly likely under 10 million. Because one, they don't need more than that. They probably don't even need 2 million. And you don't want to start at 84 million because basically there's no product. Product has been built. And in addition to that, if the token is at 84 million, there's a few other calculations that come in mind with like liquidity and extra tokens being minted, which means the market cap would be a little bit higher. So then like something that's 84 million, it's harder to go up. And ideally you want a token that goes up, of course. That's the ideal thing. Your major ideal thing is your revenue producing, you've got a fantastic product with product market fit, revenue goes to the team, it keeps everything on board, and then there's a proposal to potentially buy back and potentially burn the token in the future. So just to be clear, like them taking all the money on this would not do well. What would actually probably happen is there would be a proposal raised to liquidate not all the treasury, because that would just be, people still want to see it successful, but they'll probably say to themselves, okay, I want to liquidate 65 million or 70 million. So don't expect this to just launch with this. So the other thing is, the whales, they are going to dominate here right now, because if you just get in early on, then great, but you don't actually end up making a whole lot of, you don't get a whole lot of Umbra. You have to go and buy it on the market, which we'll go over pretty shortly. Now, the specifics with the tokenomics here, it's basically going to be done in a situation where the team does get some tokens in the future, but it's based on their performance. So if we scroll on down, you can see that there's 5 million tokens reserved for liquidity, with 2 million paired with 20% of the funds. This is done in MetaDAO. I want this price to actually come down. I think it needs to come down. I don't want to buy here. I'd much rather just, if I miss the opportunity, I miss the opportunity. Yes, it's come on down. It's bounced off the fib. It goes here in the golden pocket here. It just blasted through. It went to the 50% level, right back down to the next fib, and then up again. So if you're trading it, you could trade this with the fibs for sure. Like, it respected the fibs very, very nicely. Having said that, the current price, $5.83, is too high, and I'm going to tell you why. MetaDAO has a problem. They have a lack of initial capital due to the way they initially did their fundraising, I guess, in a sense. And so what they want to do is they want to mint more meta tokens, sell them over the counter at a lower price, $4.08 or thereabouts, to these firms or liquid funds, whoever they are, and have $6 million in cash that they can use to go and expand the team. And this is exceptionally important. Right now, they've got me, which is MetaProfit, Colin, founding engineer, part-time designer, and a Twitter intern. And then that's it. All the media and stuff that coming on the side, this is community made just because we believe in Futagi and we believe in MetaDAO. But it needs to be bigger. They need to have more people. That way they can ship faster and they can dominate. They can easily dominate because they have aligned incentives. Nobody else out there has aligned incentives. Pump.fun, its days are numbered until they start to improve their system. They will, of course, but the days are numbered. It made a whole lot of money, raised even more money pre-sale in their token. But unless they change some things, it's just like rug heaven. This is not rug heaven. So what they essentially want to do is they want to sell the tokens at a lower price. Now, I imagine they were working on this deal for some time, and then the token just kind of shot up. And so they'll be selling a discount, and it says down here, we don't believe in locking up non-team supply. Ideally, what happens is this needs to approve. But right now, it's not, because why would you go and unlock, and then the firm would immediately get the tokens, and they could just go and sell them, and then crash the market and buy back. Like, it wouldn't make sense. So this proposal is probably not going to pass. It's got 2 days and 10 hours remaining, and it was just unfortunate timing. However, the proposal will probably go again, and if I'm completely honest, I would love to just see a market crash. I would like this to pass. It's very important for MetaDAO. What I really want to see is just it comes on down significantly to a closer point where people are like, yeah, okay, this was a necessary thing, right? They have to mint the new tokens. Remember, they don't have this massive treasury of tokens. They can just go on OTC. This is exceptionally important, but this will probably fail. And then ideally it'd be more favorable, close to this dollar amount, and then it goes again. If this does not pass, right, then it's all this work and an active community, but all this work on just a few competent people, exceptionally competent people, but you can only do so much. I'm relatively competent, and I have a bigger team than this, not as kick-ass as these guys, but I've got a bigger team than this, okay? So it's a little bit of just something to keep in mind. So the actual meta token, I would love for it to come on down, and I do think it will drop. So do you want to go and buy at this price? Probably not. This is my analysis, right? Its fair value right now is here, well, I guess it's around $4 because that's what a VC is planning to do. So at, exactly in this golden pocket, that's what's fair. That's what's fair. And if it didn't do this pump, then we would be sorted. Like, this was pretty damn close. That would have passed. And then, well, a day later, it just pumps up because of euphoria. So maybe this will actually pass because the TWAP starts in 10 hours. So you can come and you can start buying here if you want to. Just kind of expect as an idea that I'm expecting and wanting it to drop around 23, maybe a little bit more, maybe 25%. So how would I do this? As you know, I'm a big fan of DYOR. And one system that I've been doing just to pull some fees in, this is just a tutorial wallet, to essentially just set a curve, because I thought it would come on down, then move back up, and it did. And I was happy to get more fees here and then less over here. Now this is significantly out of range. You can see it's down 35%. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll withdraw and close this position. I also generate some fees in the past, and then I put them into this pool, and I just put them into another curve system here, and the price obviously pumped. This one can show in a moment how well I did. A huge number of engineers that could fit this role, because they need a certain engineer, and it's nothing remote. It needs to be a person that's willing to go into the office and work remote. At least that's my understanding. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. Put it on your radar now, because this is one of the most exciting teams to work for. And if you're a full-time, if you're a designer, maybe they already hired someone. I don't know. Maybe they've got someone in mind. I don't know. But if you are, once again, happy to relocate to San Fran. This might be something worth waiting for it to pass and then reaching out to Colin and saying, hey, I've got this skill set. So that are my thoughts. Let me know yours. There's a lot to break down with this. It's kind of like trading and LPing. It's not just a simple buy a token, sell a token, buy a token, sell a token. It's the future of what could make decisions far better. Yeah, and I'm pretty excited. Make sure, you manage your risk as you go into these ICOs. Initially, these ICOs, which we can see, remember, at idon'tbelieve.link, these ICOs here, we've got all these pre-ICOs, so these guys have all kind of signed up, ready to go on board. They're all pre-launch, right? I don't know if any of them have a working product other than Avicii, but the thing with them is they're all kind of vetted initially, and then things will change in the near future so that more can be onboarded. But you have to do your research, and you can always give plenty of feedback in the Telegram channel to make this a better experience. But we're at the first stage in my, how many years? 8 years of crypto, where we can, 8.5 years of crypto. We're finally at the point where we've aligned investors and teams and retail as well. It's never been done before. So this is a big deal.